Okay, I think we are here. Maybe? Okay, maybe. Welcome back, everybody. It has been a week, to say the least. And as you can tell, I am not at my house. I had to uh, gather everything up at 6:30 or 7, I guess it was about 7:15, and race up to my son's house. Uh, so, yeah, it's been a week. Glad it's kind of coming to an end, right? Next week has got to be better. So, as as some of you know, I was evacuated out of my house on Monday, right? And I'll I'll kind of let you in on the whys and all that stuff. Um, this was not planned whatsoever. Um, I fully thought that I would be live streaming from my house tonight, and didn't happen. I am back in my house, but now I don't have internet. So, yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a week, guys. Um, let's see who is here. Yay! How you doing, bud? I like that avatar, by the way. I really do. Charles is here. Greetings to all. How you doing, bud? And Lewis. Hi, everyone. Yeah, wait till you see these pictures, guys. Craig, how you doing, buddy? Glad you made it. I think everybody has jumped over from Peters. Uh, Fisher Brothers, right on time. Yeah, trying to be. Okay, it was a hit and miss type thing. I literally was setting up within the last 5 minutes. So if something is off, let me know. Okay, I know the lighting is not the best, and I'm hoping the sound is okay. Um, but my son's house is devoid of furniture. Okay, he's a bachelor. He could care less if he has furniture or not, so he doesn't. And so there's a whole lot of echoing going on. Unlike my house, which has way too much furniture and there's no echo, right? Lewis says, sorry to hear. Oh, I miss Brady. Hey there, I finally get to watch from the start of the show. Yeah, right? Um, for those that don't know, Brett is my daughter. So welcome, Brady. Craig says, was it due to flooding? No. We have had a lot of rains, but now that everybody's in here, I'll show you what's going on. So I get a knock on my door Monday afternoon, about 5:30, and I was told I had to get out of my house. Okay. So this huge, ginormous tree, to give you some perspective here, if there was about 4 of me, we might be able to touch hands all the way around the tree. Okay. This is a massive, massive tree. And apparently it was struck by lightning. And so this huge branch, which you can't see me, so why am I pointing? This huge branch split. And when it did, um, this, well, you can't really see. Can you see the mouse? I don't think you can. Anyway, where the tree is laying is my bedroom. Okay. So, uh, I think that kind of shows, yeah. So this massive branch, and this had not fallen yet, right? So to say that, but fire department came out, the police came out, and it was imminent that it was going to fall. It was just a matter of time. They didn't want to let me back in the house at all. And I wasn't, I was in jammies, right? So I told them I've got to go back in and at least get some clothes, right? And so they let me back in to get clothes. They were not happy that I was going into that room, but that's where my clothes are, right? So, um, so anyway, they came out Tuesday and they started cutting this thing down, and it was an amazing ordeal. Okay. My backyard's not real big, and this thing filled up the backyard. Okay. I mean, it was just ridiculous how big this tree was. So, um, I couldn't stay there, obviously. Tuesday, when they started cutting it down, they got enough of it cut down that I could go back home. So Monday, I actually went into work and I stayed there all night. So, why not at least get paid for it, right? Um, and then Tuesday when I came home, they were in the process of cutting it down, and it took them 2 days to cut it down and get rid of it. And so then I'm back in the house. Believe it or not, I took my cameras. I got to pack like a week's worth of clothes because I didn't know if it actually came down. Which when it came down, another tree was in the backyard and it caught it and it gently laid it on the roof. So yeah, the hand of God was with me, right? So but I got to go home and everything was good. And then I lost internet, right? And so, man, I'm fired up because they were just out like 3 weeks ago and fixed everything, right? I don't even think it's been 3 weeks. And it turns out it's my router was bad. Okay, well, I can connect directly from the modem to the computer, right? Except that where that goes into the Mac is bad. The port's bad. So the Mac's been running on Wi-Fi for who knows how long. And we kind of found that out the last time I did a live at my son's house. We thought it may be the cable. Well, no, it's the port to the Mac. So without a router, I had no Wi-Fi. So needless to say. So here I am. Roy's here. Good day. How you doing, Roy? Roy says, last time a tree fell in our garden, we were lucky the car broke its fall. Well, there was 2 schools of thought on this. Monday night, everyone at work said, oh, he's just going to let it fall because then his insurance will have to pay for it. And if he cuts it down before it damages your house, then he has to pay for it. And so it was kind of, so many people said it that I kind of believed it. And so I'm thinking, okay, my bedroom's toast, right? It's going to take out the bedroom. And when a tree falls, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you just kind of stand by and watch it happen, right? This thing was way too big to put, someone suggested putting a 2x4 under it and propping it up, and it would have broke that like a toothpick. I mean, this limb was large. And thankfully, the house was not damaged. So, but all these things run through your mind, and you just, and there's nothing you can do, right? So you can worry a lot, and that gets you nowhere. But that was kind of my week. And then to find out, basically today, about 3 or so, that my router was bad. And how we found out was, of course, I called the cable company, and they're like, well, it's your equipment. And I'm like, it's not my equipment. Well, it is. It turned out it was. So one of the troubleshooting things that the tech walked me through was hooking the modem directly to the computer, which it was sitting right by the PC. And so I just unhooked and hooked it back in, and the PC worked great. But through the router, it was getting not even 1 megabyte per second. So unhook it, hook it direct, and it worked great. If the Mac port wasn't messed up, then I would be live streaming from home. So they are sending me out a new router, which I have no idea when it'll be here. I'm sure it'll be here by next Friday. If not, I will just go out and buy one. So Peter wants to know, Roy, did the car get totaled, or was it less damage? Yeah, I'm sure the car was totaled if a tree fell on it. And Roy says, yep, totaled. Yeah, if, I don't have any little sapling trees. These are all, 100-year-old trees. And for some reason, they decided to build a neighborhood in a forest. And so I've got all these really, really huge trees. And so I got to tell you, I'm a little bit skittish to sleep in my room because the tree that stopped the trees fall, the limbs fall, it has branches hanging out over my house. So did it weaken the tree when it caught the other tree? I mean, I don't know. The tree guy said no, it was fine, everything's good. He cut out some limbs, some low-lying limbs, he was super, super nice guy. I cannot remember his name, but if you're watching, tree guy, I love you. Thank you so much for all that you did, because that was amazing. And the owner of the house, his name's Russell, and he was a man of his word. He told me he would send somebody out the next day, and he did. So my hat is off to you as well, Russell. So I don't know if you're watching, but thank you very, very much. Roy says to Peter, it's only a car, albeit a nice one, right? That was kind of, I had to kind of look at it like, well, if it does, it's only a house, right? As long as nobody's hurt, everything can be replaced. And in my entire bedroom, the only two things that I did not want to lose were the pictures of my kids when they were babies. And so I got those moved out to the front room. They said the front room was safe. So why I loaded up all my cameras, I don't know, but I did. I guess I was in panic mode and trying to think of, I have some really big TVs, and I couldn't lift those. So I took what I could, and thankfully didn't need to have taken anything. But at the time I didn't know that. So yeah, and then to find out your internet's not working when you're supposed to go live, it's a little bit of a stressful week. Tomorrow, however, the children and I we were supposed to go kayaking, and we were going to have a couple of their friends join us. And the weather here is real hit and miss, and the temperatures are not really that high. So 60s, 70s. The water, it has rained a lot, and when it rains, it cools the water down. So I'm not thrilled about getting in cold water, okay? And as you guys know, I capsize just about every time I go. So, yeah. So we're going to do the Renaissance Fair instead. The weather's supposed to be on the cool side. It'll be, I've been to the Renaissance when it's been really kind of hot, and it's miserable, right? Because it's outside. And so, with it being cooler temperatures, I'm really looking forward to going to the Renaissance. I think my daughter has a costume, and my son's going to wear a kilt. It should be a really good time. And Peter says, Russell, thumbs up. Yes, sir. I can't thank you enough, Russell. That was a moment, one of those oh shit moments, right? Randy says, I'm glad you were not hurt, Sly. I just upgraded my internet service and found out that the modem and the Wi-Fi router that I owned was capable of the higher speeds. It's always an ongoing process. So my router is not that old. It had the Wi-Fi 6, I think, and it was like, I think it would do like 1.2 gigabytes, which I was only getting like at a good moment, I would only get like maybe 80, right, megabytes. So it wasn't that my internet service is that fast. It's just, I bought that thing probably 3 or 4 months ago. It's a Netgear something. I don't remember the model, but it didn't last very long. So, and the modem, the last time the internet went out, which was not my equipment, when they came out and they fixed the line, they gave me a new modem. Only it wasn't new, it was used. So now they're going to send me out it's a combo kit, and it's supposed to have Wi-Fi 6 and yeah. So I don't know. I'll see what they send. I mean, if I don't like it, I can go buy my own equipment, right? Roy says all images should be digitized and backed up. okay, the images of the tree, because I probably am going to call my insurance company and just say, hey, a tree fell on my house. I don't know that it damaged it, but can you come take a look at the roof and just see what they say? You know. Randy said, today it was the router, tomorrow it'll be the garbage disposal. The garbage disposal would not stress me out in the least. I can change those in about 30 minutes, right? And if I don't have time, it's not like it's going to go anywhere, right? So that kind of thing, man, I'm cool as cotton with that. But when it's something that's going to cave my house in, and I've got the fire department telling me I can't go back inside because it's a safety issue, yeah, that stressed me out like a lot, probably more than it should have. I feel like when I was younger, I rolled with the punches a lot better. And as I get older, it's like, so Craig says, I'm glad you stayed safe and your house is not damaged. Thank you, Craig. Yeah, it was just one of those moments where you don't have those very often, right? Hopefully. I kind of feel like this week has just been just one boom after another. And so I'm very glad to put this week behind me. And and I found out that my driver's license expires this month, and you have to now make an appointment to get a new driver's license. It's a COVID thing, right? And apparently now you have to make an appointment so that there's not too many people in line at one time. I've been getting driver's license for 60 years. Who thought of that, right? So, yeah, now I have to figure out how to do that. Randy says, lightning strike or surge damage from the strike from the tree, I expect would happen. So I guess if you guys remember the Thursday that my internet went out, we had that big storm come through and it blew the filter off the line, or a filter I didn't even need. Blew it off the line, and the guy took it out and hooked me back up and everything was great. Well, apparently that's the storm that struck the tree, and it's taken a week and a half for it to finally fall. Okay. Who knew, right? I mean, that's just, I've been out around that tree mowing and what have you, and I didn't know that lightning had struck it, but you could clearly see a burn mark, at the top of that split. So, yeah. Precious images should be backed up. Oh, so Roy, when when my kids were little, it was film. We weren't digital yet. So I have a 16 by 20 of both kids when they were a year old, right? I actually had a picture of my daughter that I tried to digitize, and it didn't come through well. So I don't have the negatives to those anymore, and so it is what it is. What I have learned about pictures, my kids might have a little bit of interest, but beyond that, like my grandchildren, will not have any interest in my pictures, and then their kids will have even less. So I have all these pictures from my mom, and I don't know who these people are, but they were important enough for her to keep the pictures, and that was just one generation, right? So, unless it's maybe a landmark or something, um, yeah, they just don't pass through generations very well. I have a picture of my grandparents on my living room wall, and my grandmother died before I was born. My grandfather, I was 3 when he died, so I don't even remember him, right? But they were important to my mom, and so they're on my wall, But yeah, it's amazing how fast the generations forget once you're gone, So like my grandson will never know my mother, right? So I'm the link to that, and when I'm gone, she's gone, right? Peter says, speaking of garbage disposal, my sink decided today it's going to drain very, very slowly. Drano? No. Bleach. Just put some bleach down it. Drano is made up primarily of bleach. So, but why is it draining slowly? That is more the question. What have you put down your sink that would make it drain slowly? Figure that out, and then you'll figure out what to put in it. Roy says to Randy, I'm the wife's garbage disposal, right? That's kind of me. Yeah, if it's in my house, I'll eat it. Randy's laughing at Roy. Brett says, Roy, she's got external hard drives coming out her ears. She's got more photos digitized than most people have printed. Yeah, well, since the digital camera age, okay, for about the last 2 years, that is a true statement. And the whole reason I got back into photography is I had a grandson, right? And of course, proud grandma has to take pictures of, the baby, and then you don't want to lose them, so you want to keep them. Well, where are you going to keep them? On an external storage, right? So, yeah. Peter says, are you going to move out of that room to where a tree can't crush you while you're sleeping or napping? That's a distinct possibility. I haven't really decided yet. So, I have 2 rooms to pick from, right? Actually, I have a whole house to pick from, but everything on the back of the house is under the tree. So it would have to be one of the rooms in the front. So, yeah, I'm all for moving. Let's just move. We'll just move. Pack up everything, just move. But I would like to, at some point, be able to move in 2 U-Hauls, not 4. So there's that. Yeah. The last time I moved was 10 years ago, and it took an act of Congress, and all of my children's friends had to help. So yeah, it was a thing. Roy says, digitizing negatives and slides is a pain, but worth it. I have a box of photos back from the film days, and I'm sure the negatives are in there, but honestly, every once in a while the kids will see an old picture and they'll, like I ran across one when we built a house down on a mountain, right? It's been 1990, years ago. And that's where the kids grew up. And when the guy was there digging, I believe he was digging the septic, my daughter, who was 4 at the time, had to get up in the backhoe with him. And so we ran across that picture, and everybody, oh, that's really cool, and that was the end of it, right? It was cool, but, it's just, nobody was really overly enthusiastic about it. Peter says, I think there are companies that digitize nowadays, but they charge you. Yeah, I would kind of, just for me. Nobody else on this planet would care about it. But I have a video of, like, from the baby shower to my son's, I don't know, maybe 2nd year. And I would kind of like to get that where I could at least view it, just so I can compare him to my grandson, right? I don't think I have any video of my daughter, because she was my second born, and by the time you have your second one, it's you've been there and done that, right? So unfortunately, Brady, second born children get far less than a firstborn. Yeah. Roy says to Peter, I spent decades as a product photographer, so I self-digitize. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I wouldn't know the first thing about how to digitize all that stuff. And honestly, I do kind of like to move forward. So everything is on a backup now. And going forward, it will always be, right? I have a feeling that within the next very short amount of time, they're going to go from, like, 2 terabytes seems like a lot now. I have a feeling that's going to be nothing reasonably shortly. I remember when I got my first computer, and I think the hard drive was like 600 megabytes, right? And it was like huge at the time. That was like mind blowing that you'd ever be able to fill that up. And then, that was 1986. So it hasn't been that long. And now we're into terabytes, right? So, yeah, I think it's just going to keep going that way, right? And things are going to keep getting smaller and smaller, as far as, because like my storage things, they're maybe the size of 2 credit cards. They're not very big, and they're 2 terabytes apiece. So, uh, a house without trees sounds very boring. Well, yes, it does sound boring, but you have to remember these are city lots. And so the houses are fairly close together. And my line for my internet is running right through a tree. So every time the wind blows, the internet gets jostled. So that tree's coming out for sure. That's a little, I think they call it a hackberry tree, but it's not very big. And when it started, it has shot off in like 6 different trunks, all kind of connected. And so there's like 6 different trees sprouting out of this one trunk. So, yeah, it is what it is. Peter said, congratulations on crossing 200 subscribers. That's quite an accomplishment, right? When I started, I thought 50. If I had 50 people that knew who I was, that would be phenomenal, right? And yeah, we just crossed 200. I think we're at 202 or something. So I'm impressed. I'm waiting for that 1,000, right? Y'all subscribe now. You hear, right? Peter, you're from Florida with a New York accent. You can't do that, right? Okay, it's y'all subscribe now. You hear? That's how you have to do it. Yeah, put a little oaky twang on there. Lewis says, if you have the negatives, you can use your iPhone to digitize. Oh, okay. Honestly, I don't know if I do or not. I haven't looked in that box of photos. I'm as bad as anybody else, right? I have photo albums that when my kids were little, I was part of a group it was called Creative Memories, and you did scrapbooking. Okay, so you took your photos and you told a story on each page. And so I have those, and the kids enjoy looking at those still. But as far as just flipping through photos, it's probably not something they would do very often. Yeah. So a house without trees is very hot too. Oh, heavens no, Randy. My house, let me tell you. So whoever built this thing, they put a cinder block wall all the way around the backyard. Okay. The roof is 2x6 tongue and groove. And I believe Uncle G and Aaron are coming in. Yes, they are. They've been out to eat or somewhere. They went out somewhere. I don't know. Yep, they went out to eat. And they didn't bring me any food. So there's that. Would you boys like to say hi? This tail that was wagging, that's Inte. Oh, there's my Aaron. Come here. Do you have a screen name? Oh, okay. This is Aaron.
That's all you get.
Uncle G. So
Oh, look at that head.
and there's Inte. So see, this is what happens when you live stream in a full house. It's all good if he doesn't knock the camera over. Yep, I think so. Okay. It's a comedy of errors. My first computer only had 10 megabytes, right? And at the time, would you push that button again on the camera?
Which one?
The one in front.
This one?
Yep. There you go. Thank you. No, I think you're good. It's all good. It's all good. we've got an excited dog walking back and forth under the tripod and the ladder set up. And we've got, you wouldn't believe what we had to do to set this up. I didn't bring my big lights, right? So I've got two little LED lights and it wasn't enough light. But if you have the overhead light turned on, it turned my hair yellow. So yeah, it's been let me tell you, it's been a day, right? I'm just happy I'm here. And what does Peter say? The river isn't up the bridge. Huh? You leaving? All right. See you. Love you. Thanks. Oh, okay. See ya. All right. So where was I? Uh, time to hit that subscribe button, guys. I think, Peter, if they're making comments, they are subscribed, right? Because of that little thing you had me do. So, yeah, it's all good. Did I miss anybody? Okay, Roy. Did you ever think you would be able to fill up 10 megabytes? Because I remember buying my first computer and thinking, oh my gosh, this is huge. I'll never use this much, right? Yeah. Well, that, by today's standards, that thing, I don't even think you'd be able to do anything with it by today's standards. That's Ryan Hall. Oh, Ryan Hall, y'all. Yeah, the weather guy. Did you want to come in here? Okay. we have a guest appearance here. Maybe. What are you doing? Oh.
Uncle G's Adventures.
Okay. Yeah, Uncle G's Adventures wants to make a guest appearance here.
Got the adventure hat.
What do you know, buddy?
I don't know. What are we talking about? Trees?
Okay. Well, Peter's trying to get people to subscribe. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's saying, time to hit that.
Y'all subscribe now, you hear?
There you go. And he said, yep, that's Ryan Hall. Randy says, you have to dig 3 to 4 feet to reach the heart of the hack. Oh.
Is it called a hackberry because you can keep hacking at it and it keeps coming back?
Maybe. Yeah, I'll probably just cut it down to the ground. So it's all shade back there. Nothing grows except the stupid tree.
Well,
Lewis is waving at you.
I think he's saying that if you do, like, even if you remove it, like if you cut it down to the ground, it'll come back.
Oh.
You have to dig 3 to 4 feet down to get to the heart of it so that you can remove it completely.
Oh, like the devil tree on the front of the house?
Yeah.
So there's a tree on the front of my house, and I have cut this thing down to the ground 3 times.
That guy knows what he's talking about. Motivated minds? Go Sooners. That's what I'm talking about.
Carlos. Yeah, go Sooners, buddy. That's Carlos, the psychiatrist in California.
Nice.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. He has a thing. Good taste. He has a thing in for men. Like the shampoo for men only or whatever. He has a channel for men only. That I've given him a lot of static about, right?
Head and Shoulders for YouTube.
It's like a, what is that? It's like a hair color thing for men only. I've given him a lot of static because his show the title is something about men only. So yeah. So I give him a lot of static about it. So Aaron doesn't have a head. Aaron doesn't. Oh, yes, right. He's camera shy. Okay. Yes.
Oh.
Aaron. You're
yes.
Aaron. Yes.
Yes.
He didn't want to show his face.
Well, I'm like, Aaron. Who's Aaron?
Well, so, okay. So Roy, in the U.S., ERIN is a girl Aaron, and AARON is boy Aaron. So this was AARON, boy Aaron, right?
Who in high school dated an ERIN, Aaron.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was.
So it was Aaron and Aaron.
Confused me.
Right?
I don't know.
Aaron is shy. Yes, he is. But he kind of walked in on this, so it's all good.
I didn't warn him at all.
Right. Well, he came in when we were setting everything up, so he kind of knew what he was walking into, but I don't think he knew he was going to be on camera, and that's all good.
Nope.
10 megabytes seemed enormous at the time, right? So he's almost 30, right? Yeah. So what were computers at when you started getting into computers? Like how many megabytes was considered good size?
See, I don't know because I didn't really get a gaming computer until I was in my early 20s. I guess I've had it for a while now.
Yeah.
But when I built that one, I mean, I've got 16 gigs of RAM.
Right.
Or I only had one stick, so I had 8 gigs of RAM when I first built it.
Yeah,
I've got two
mine
sticks
has
now.
16.
Yeah, I've got 2 now.
Okay.
But yeah, when I first it was like 16 gigs. But I can say whenever like we first so the original games that we would play, the storage was in the cartridge. The memory storage was in the cartridge.
Okay.
And then we could get I remember there was memory cards for the like PS1, the PlayStation 1. That was the first like memory thing that I really knew to pay attention to. And that was like 8 megabytes, I think was the first memory card size. And I mean, it was like,
Okay. Well, Roy said his first computer was 10.
yeah.
So,
And I remember like the first time I heard of a terabyte of storage, I was like, that's insane.
right.
And now everyone's got multiple terabytes.
Yeah, 2 terabytes. Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Roy says when I upgraded to over 20 megabytes, I had to upgrade the computer's BIOS. So I know I have 16 megabytes of RAM.
Gigs.
Is it gigabytes?
Mm-hmm.
So how big is my hard drive? Because
Are you running
I think on the
this?
Mac it's only like 256 megabytes.
Very possible.
Yeah, it's not very much.
Yeah.
So on the Mac, I put everything on a external drive, and I found out real quick that you almost have to run Final Cut Pro because it fills up really, really fast. So Randy says, correct. You have to remove the heart. Hackberry tree has beautiful flowers on it, but it grows close. Yep, grows close to the house and had to go. So the only reason that I'm chuffed about this tree is because my internet line is running through it. Right now, this particular time, it wasn't the internet, or it wasn't the cable that was the problem. It was my router. So yeah, okay. I can put that more on you.
What? Oh, it's all good. Oh, what just went away?
That's all right. We can get it back. Ah, technical difficulties. One moment, please. There we are. Okay, we're back. We just need to move this a little bit.
That's fine.
It'd be all right. It'd be all right. Yeah. So, you gotta have a microphone now. Okay. So, can you guys hear G all right? In case I haven't introduced him, this is Adventures with Uncle G. This is my son Grant, and he has been nice enough to host me now twice. Thank you, Optima. That's my internet provider, and they don't provide.
Internet non-provider.
Internet non-provider, right. Roy says to Randy, the tree talk is making me look outside differently. Some of the tree branches are 2 feet thick. Yeah, this one that fell was bigger around than I am. Okay, I'm not that big.
Didn't you say it was like 4 of you thick?
Yes. So the tree itself, if I spread my arms around and there was 4 of me, I might be able to reach around the base. But if you took 4 of me and put me right like close together, that's how thick this one branch was. So it was daunting, to say the least. Peter says that their G-boy needs his own show. I'm working on him. I'm working on him. I think he would be highly successful. Yes, in his little fishing hat. Randy is talking to Roy, said they make great perches for birds, great for photos. I feel like I have more squirrels than I have birds. But I have two cats that live in my backyard. So they're feral, and I think they eat the birds. So not sure, but Lewis would know. This guy, he did cell phone repair for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he is in the know. 8 megabytes. I still have my PS10X. PS. How do you say that? PSX memory cards.
I think the X is to signify like just any model of them because it's like PS1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
yeah, PS whatever memory cards.
PS. Okay. In my generation, we'd put a question mark. PS. And Roy says to Randy, I'm too cowardly to climb that size tree. So, me too, Roy. I'm right there with you, right? And as we were looking at this split branch, let me just give you another shot of that. Okay. This thing was so big that, and you would have had to pull up on it to keep it from falling. And there was no way to climb
pull up on it
that high in the sky. Well, because where it's split, you would have had to tie a rope and pull up.
Okay, I'm with
Yeah.
you.
So I'm not climbing a tree. Yeah. Randy says, I remember my 386 PC. I had two 40 megabyte hard drives. Then the 486 came out, and they had a CD for that gateway computer. Man, that's, yeah. I'm right there with you, Randy. I remember those. Yeah, it was called a 386. That was, I think, my first one, maybe. My first computer I got in 1986. And so whatever, but I think it was a 386. And then I kept getting bigger. And when I got to like 1,000 megabytes, I thought, man, I will never fill this up, right? Yeah, that didn't last too long, did it? Terabytes, yes. My externals are terabytes because the Mac only has like 256. So the PC, I couldn't honestly tell you, but the PC, I have never ever had a problem with any of the programs. I used to run DaVinci Resolve on it. I've never ever had a problem with the PC getting too full. So I think it's big. I built it. I should know what's in it, but I don't remember. I know it has 2 sticks of 16 gig RAM, so I have 32 RAM. And I was wanting to upgrade that, but I mean, it blows the Mac out of the water. It runs so fast. But I can't do Ecamm or Final Cut Pro on the PC. So Apple has me by the yin yang. Yeah. Let's see. On your Mac M1, it's an SSD and it's 256 gigabyte in size. Yeah. So the external drives that I have one HDD, two SDDs. The one that's in the Hagibus is a SSD, and I believe it's 1 terabyte. And then the ones that lay on the desk are 2 terabytes. So I have a few things. Roy says, I miss backing up to CD DVDs. They were so reliable compared to SSDs. You know, when I built the computer, and everyone said I was crazy for doing this, well, all the young people said I was crazy for doing this. I put a CD read-write unit in the PC. My son, his case doesn't even have a place for it, right? And everybody's like, oh, those are so out of style and passe and, all this stuff. But you wouldn't believe, I still have some CDs and I can play them and they can't. You don't have a CD player, do you?
No, but to counteract your to be the devil's advocate, Roy, I remember buying a bunch. Like I remember having albums that you would listen to them so much that the last couple songs on the album would skip because the closer to the edge of the disc you got, the more like wear and tear I guess there was. How would that happen with an SSD? So I'm confused by your reliability comparison. Have you had issues with an SSD before?
So,
Yeah, I'm confused.
so the HDD is kind of like the old CD, where it has a actual disc in there and it searches on the disc.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit slower than the
Well, yeah,
SSD.
I know they're a little bit slower, but as far as like reliability,
Yeah, I don't have a clue. I just plug it in and it's never failed me, so I don't know.
Hmm.
Carlos says, I still remember standing in line at my local record store for their first shipment of CDs and left with some Led Zeppelin. Okay, so if you go another 20 years back, we used to do that with records, right? I remember being in high school and going to the local record shop and waiting for the latest record that you wanted, right? And 3 o'clock, they would not release it until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there'd be a line, right? Yeah, I remember those, but it was with vinyl, not CDs. But yeah, a little older than you, Carlos, just a little bit. Lewis says, "Hey, Grant." He's got eight. His son is Aiden.
yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I've told him about you guys, right? He kind of knows who you guys are, sort of, a little bit, and he knows who Peter is. Peter says, "Lower a hair of the mic so it's aimed at Grant's mouth more."
Bravo.
Okay, or Grant could just kind of sit up a little bit. There you go, so that you're in the mic too. See, you you can look at those gauges up there,
Yeah.
so you know if you get too close. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I see it when I'm talking. I think we're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Well, if it's just barely hitting the green, you're not talking loud enough. They can't hear you like that. Yeah. There's one in every crowd, right? You asked for it, Peter. So, okay. Roy's talking to Carlos, says those people are back lining up for film at the camera store. Is film making a
Oh,
comeback?
massive. And records.
Really?
Oh, hugely. People are collecting records like crazy now. People love working on film. I don't know. There's like a nostalgic push
Yeah.
lately with
Yeah.
people wanting to like restore old cars, use old technologies for stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm in style then, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Definitely. Yeah.
Every 20 years I'm back in style, right? So, the thing about film cameras, and you have to remember that I went like 20 years without really shooting anything, right? Um, so when you were shooting film, you had to become a pretty good photographer or it would bankrupt you. Okay. You couldn't just willy nilly shoot picture after picture after picture because you're having to pay to get all this developed. And so out of a roll of film that was what, I believe 24 pictures is what I usually bought. Um, I might get four that I was really proud of. Okay. With this digital thing, you can just snap, 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 and just delete them if you don't like them, right? So I feel like film photographers got a little bit better at their trade
Yeah, I
than
do.
digital because you were spending money for every print, okay? Just to get the film developed, X number of dollars, and then for each print, X number, right? So I feel like you got a little your skill honed in a little bit more with film. I love digital. Don't get me wrong. I don't know that I'd ever go back.
Yeah, sports photographers had to be on the ball.
Oh yeah.
That or just go through just like quick change the film canisters, like because you're going like one play, you're going through a whole roll.
Well, and I think my M6s will do 14 bursts at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you only had 24 pictures on a roll of film, you get one burst,
Yeah.
and yeah, you're done. So Roy said we have mostly kookaburras and parrots. Oh, that's cool. Roy is in Australia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't you guys also have giant spiders that are the size of small cats?
Oh, that's what the first PlayStation was called, the PSX.
Oh,
Okay, so that must have been before this guy's time,
like before the PS1?
apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Carlos says, awesome beard, Grant. Big envy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This is actually, I don't know, Carlos, if you go back and you watch our, I think the last kayak video I put up, this guy's beard used to be like down to here. And he had really, really long hair. Now it's, well, it's up in a bun, but now
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not anything
What it
like
used
it
to be.
was a couple summers ago.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he has grown up, and as he has grown up and gotten a little older, his beard has gotten a little shorter. So, and there's John. Hey, John, welcome. My first computer was a Texas Instrument, then upgraded to a Commodore 64. I remember those. I don't think I ever got into the Commodore. The Texas Instrument, I didn't even know they made a computer, honestly. I used the Texas Instrument for my calculator in calculus. So, yes, I remember those. Peter says, oops, sorry, Carlos. I thought it was dirt on his face. Thank you. Give him one of your looks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Roy says, PCs tend to have faster hardware but slower operating system. Um, you know, my PC will put the Mac to shame. So I don't know. I don't know. I went on this thing called PC Builder, and they make sure that all the parts are going to fit everything right. And so my list kept growing. I had started out with the intention of building an $800 computer, and I think I ended up at 3,200. So
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was
yeah,
easily twice as much as I spent on my gaming
yeah,
computer.
yeah, it was kind of insane. But it was one of those things where, okay, if this is good, then the next step up would be a little bit better, right? And it's only a couple more $100. Well, but you do that with every component, and it kind of gets it kind of expensive. Uh, anybody remember Colico Vision? I do not. What did you just send me?
Uh, two pics. One I was where my beard was all the way down to here, and then the last one where my hair was super long.
Oh,
I was trying to get them faster. I was trying to airdrop them to the computer, but it said it wasn't available.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, they're available here, but I don't know how to get them on here. Still learning. I know there's a way to do it. No, they're here.
I know, but we can
I,
also do this.
how do you get them on here though? Create a scene.
It says it's
I
waiting.
know. I know.
I don't
Lewis and
know.
Peter are laughing their heads off
I'm
because,
sure they are.
yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Is it this one?
I think so. Click it.
Well, one moment, please. Um, okay. How do I do that?
Drag it. You click this to add it to the current. Or
This one?
yeah.
Okay.
And
It's not
then
loaded yet. Oh, that's movies.
yeah, no, it'll be. Scroll down a little bit.
Is it
That one.
these?
Yep.
This and this?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's not doing it.
Click it.
I did click it.
Why isn't it working?
I don't know. Maybe because, oh,
There it goes. Yeah, hit open. Just hit open.
oh. It won't let
I know,
me.
click it. It will.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll put him over here.
Yep, okay.
All right. So that was G when he had the really long hair. Um, and then was the other one the beard?
Yes.
Okay, so how do I?
Just, I don't know, maybe hit X.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where do I go now?
Click that.
Out here.
And then it's
This
that
one?
second one. Yeah. You'll like that one.
Oh,
That's a good
okay.
one. Yeah.
Well, that's me.
Wow, that's
There we go.
yeah,
Okay.
big old beard.
That's when his. But I think that was a year. That was shorter even than the.
No way.
Yeah, that was shorter than the one of us kayaking. So
I thought that was the longest I let my beard get.
no,
Psych.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay. Randy's talking to John. What was your favorite game for the Commodore? Right? And Roy says, I remember installing my first sim memory because it was $308 per megabyte. Wow. That's ridiculous.
The amount of storage you can get for $300 now, that's crazy. Yeah, it's Kevin.
How you doing, bud?
Yeah, he messaged me earlier and he was like, your mom's mic sounds so good. I was like, then tell her. He's like, I can't right now. I'm in bed with my daughter. I can't comment.
So, Kevin, this is the $37 for fine, right? It's
That's not like a Rode mic or whatever?
No, this is a $37 mic. And I heard somebody, Obscure Mics, made a review on this mic. And of course, he has this really deep, booming, bassy voice, and it sounded really good. I don't have a deep, booming, bassy voice. Can you make your voice deep and booming and bassy?
I don't know. Hang on. I don't know if I can do real bit like boomy though. I think I can get quite a bit of bass in it,
Well,
but
talk closer to it.
I think I can get quite a bit of bass. I don't know how boomy it is.
So anyway, I picked one up and I'm like, I tested it with the AT2040, and I actually, this one takes a lot less gain and it's lighter, and so it doesn't make my boom arm droop as much. And so I just started using it,
I don't
and
like droopy arms.
droopy boom arms are the worst, right? And so I've had a lot of compliments on it. So thank you, Kevin. Roy says most SSDs only seem to last me 12 months or so before a failure, constant use. Oh,
Mm.
okay. Well, now I will say that mine are not in constant use.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I mean, are you gaming off your hard drive or are you gaming off your external?
I don't have an external.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't have any external?
Mm-mm.
Oh my. Okay. Well, you have to if you have a Mac. But he has a PC, so
I don't
and
have that.
he games off PC, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. Um, let's see. Randall says mine was Commando, and when you placed your name into the point selection, it played a wonderful tune. And every time you put the letters in, you heard a shot from a gun.
That
Yeah,
sounds like
that's
fun.
cool. Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
Roy says magnetic drive used to last about 4 times as long as SSDs. So, like the HDD, is that what you call a magnetic drive? Um, they're slower, a lot slower, but for storage, I don't see the point in paying for the SSD if it's just for storage. Now, if you're working off of it, then yeah, you probably need an SSD. But as far as like, I have pictures from 2016 on my HDD external because, you know, I don't access those but once in a blue moon. So I don't want to get rid of them because they're Christmas when the kids were still at home. 2016, you would have been
23?
not even 2016.
16?
Oh, maybe no, they're older than that then.
2006?
We were at the
What are you
house.
talking
We
about?
were at the house in Broken Arrow.
That would
It
have
was
been.
Christmas, and you guys were still. Maybe you were 16 years old.
Oh, that would make. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that would
That's
make
right.
more sense.
Yeah.
uh, Lewis says sound is fine. So yeah, this is like. So Lewis built a microphone. He bought a capsule off Amazon, I think, um, and he took a piece of PVC and he built his own microphone, and it sounded fantastic, right? So now he's into Now I think he has a Shure microphone, but he built his own, and it
That's
sounded,
cool. I didn't even know you could do that.
yeah, it sounded remarkable. So I was impressed. Um, Kevin says, Roxy, yeah, SSDs uh,
Lose life via writing.
lose life via writing. Okay, what does that mean?
I think when you write data onto it, like that's constantly writing data onto it was what reduces the lifespan of it. I assume that's what he means.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I'm not super techy. I don't know.
Um,
I just wing it.
and these film users are very young. Well, they're going to figure out really, really quickly um, to get pretty good at taking pictures if they're paying to have their film processed. But you remember, I mean, there was like a 1 hour photo on every other street, every other intersection, right? I mean, they were just all over the place. They'd have these little bitty drive-through huts, and I mean, it was little bitty, right? All it had in it was a Kodak film processing thing, and you drive up and you'd give them your film and come back 2 hours later, and it would be ready for pickup, right? I mean, it was awesome. And every one of those is, I haven't seen one of those in years. Kind of like the old payphone. Yeah. Lewis says, I'm into restoring cars. So Lewis is restoring um, it starts with an S.
Like the brand or the model?
The model, I think. It's a car. It's a car.
Okay.
um, uh, what kind of car does Johnny have?
Johnny?
Uh-huh.
A Scion?
Okay, but his isn't. I think Lewis's is a Scion, but it's not that model.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I
Oh.
could be completely wrong, Lewis. You can correct me, please.
Yeah, I'm really curious now what you're restoring.
Right? But he made a channel for it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I'll have to check that
G
out.
has started restoring his Mustang, and he is filming it. It's just someone that he's entrusted to edit the videos and put them up has not done her part. Don't know who that could be. Peter says, speaking of cars, anyone you know has an older Mustang with high output engine? Awesome. He's getting it there. He's getting it there.
Trying to.
Yeah. Uh, Roy says, film is for masochists. Yeah, right? Uh, unless you just have a lot of money to burn. Yeah, I probably would never go backwards.
Go ahead and click the next one. Yeah.
Film is for rich masochists, right? Roy says, grand, lose the hat and enjoy hair while you still have some. He has got an abundance of hair, yes. Lewis says, the PS1 was the smaller remake with optional LCD screen of the original PlayStation called the PSX to differentiate. Okay.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So apparently you didn't get into the PSX.
No, because I was back and forth. So I did. My very first console was the Nintendo 64, and then the PS1, and then the GameCube, and then the PS2, and then the Xbox 360. So
He's not spoiled at all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's all good. I remember playing something. I don't know on which system it was. Mario Golf, Mario
Those
Kart
all on the GameCube.
On the GameCube.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, we would sit on his
we
bed
still
and
play
play for
all the
hours.
time.
Yes, his thumbs got a lot of work out. I think in America, Texas Instruments relabeled the Sinclair. Oh.
Well, I don't know, because I mean TI is still around, but they make calculators now. I don't know.
That's what I had a Texas Instrument calculator
Yeah.
for calculus.
And I know they made computers
like you
a
had to
while
have
ago.
one. It was
Yeah,
part
it was
of the class.
TI-84.
Yeah.
Yeah. Texas Instrument. Yeah.
So, but I remember Radio Shack trying to make a computer. It did not sell well. I don't remember Texas Instrument making one, so it may have been
Do you
before
remember
my
the
time.
brand of computer we had at the house in Morris? Was it a Dell?
No, that was it wasn't a brand name.
Oh,
It
really?
was one I bought at a computer store,
Mm-hmm.
and they made it to my specifications.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So always kind of been high techy.
I remember wanting to take that thing apart and not have. I remember getting the side off and not knowing what anything was and being scared and just, nope, they're mine.
Yeah, right. Lewis says, "Ye, I do." At Motivated Minds. Was it ColecoVision? Was Atari's rival console, early '80s. Now, Lewis, if it was in the early '80s, you were just born then. I think. Yeah,
I had the
yeah.
NES and that was before my time.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But Lewis was probably born close to 80, I would say. He's like 41 or 42 now. I don't know.
Just calling
I
out.
do try to keep up, but I was one of those programmers stiffed by the Sony MSX in the 80s. Oh, okay. So you're a techie guy. Watch out, Roy, because a lot of times I have techie questions. John says we had the Atari 2600. Never got a. Is it Coleco or Colco?
I don't know. I've never heard of that console,
Okay,
which I
it's
I thought I
probably
kind of
before
knew
your
my stuff.
time. Yeah,
Well, yeah, but
I feel like it should be ColecoVision was the bomb with Donkey Kong. It may be Colco, but I think it was I think it's Coleco sounds more better.
it's
I
actually it
don't
was actually a
know.
French company. It was Coleco.
I don't know. Yeah. My favorite C4 game was Oregon Trail. Um,
You have died of
C64.
dysentery.
So what's the drink that you drink? It's C4, not C64, right?
Yeah, see, and
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, that's an energy drink and pre-workout.
C4.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. See how I get things confused? It's a shame. Um, how did you get a picture of Jesus? So he was a bartender at one time,
Many
and
years.
I have a picture of him in a blue shirt with pink flamingos on it, and you would think that Jesus was serving mixed drinks, because his beard was just a little bit longer than it is now, and his hair was the length that they depict the American Jesus as.
Good, good
Um,
specification. The American
the American
Jesus.
Jesus, yes. Um, so it looked like Jesus was bartending, yes. And when he would go to, what was it called? The Dance Festopia?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dance Festopia. It's a music festival in Kansas City, Missouri.
He
And
would dress as Jesus and hand out water bottles. So, um,
and hugs.
and hugs. And he was very popular.
Yep. And I like to call myself a extroverted introvert. And so the very first day I would dress up as Jesus, and it was like a 3-day festival. So the very first day I dress up as Jesus, and then after that I go super incognito, and I've got like a hood on and a mask, and you can't tell who I am because I just get really tired of talking to
You
people.
need to scoot up here. Scoot your little thing up here. Oh, I see. You were using the wall to lean
Yeah.
back against. Oh, I got you. Okay.
Plus, now I'm at the top.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There is a little slight height difference. He's like a foot taller than me. So, yeah,
Not a full foot.
almost. Yeah, like 8 inches. I don't know. He's tall.
Yeah, 8 inches is
Um,
right.
Lewis says Coleco had the. I'm going to call it Coleco. Okay, if I am wrong, then somebody correct me because I don't know. Okay, but anyway, it sounds more fun than Colco. So Coleco. Yeah. Had the big number pad controllers. Okay, I am just not ringing any bells with that one. and I don't think they made any before my time.
Yeah, I do not recognize that.
Oh, he just pulled up a picture of it. Yeah, I don't either. We didn't ever have one.
Sorry for being on my phone. I just really wanted to know what that looked
And
like.
$308 was big money back then, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Roy says my wife has a deep bassy voice every time I do something wrong. It doesn't get high pitched and shrill. Am I kicking a dog? I am.
Yes.
Okay. If you separate into two drives, one boot, the other data, when your drive fails, you won't lose data.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so the one that I've got in the Mac, I don't think I've ever had a problem with it. It's a 1 terabyte SSD in the Hagibis, so it seems to do just fine.
What are you saying? In the what?
In the Hagibis.
In the what?
The Hagibis.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what? What is that?
Okay, so this is the computer,
Uh-huh.
and this thing on that it's sitting on is a Hagibis. It's a hub.
That's such a silly word. Okay.
Lewis,
Sure.
am I saying that wrong? Okay.
I hope not.
I
I hope that's really the name of it.
I think it is. Hagibus. Hagibus. I think that's the name of it.
That's that
Now he has
phonetically
me.
makes sense.
Now he has me questioning.
I don't work with Apple ever, so that's
Okay,
a funny.
I'm pretty sure that's what
thing.
it says. But after this, we'll look at it.
I definitely thought that was all one piece.
No, the computer's just the top part. The thing on the bottom I bought separate, and it has a SSD inside of it. So we may go off the air because he has to look.
No, I wasn't gonna touch it. Just want to look.
Craig says the early external hard drives were 5 megabytes for $5,000. The first 300 DPI, 1 page per minute black and white laser printer cost $10,000. I traded my wife's Audi 4000 for one at a local computer dealer. Holy cow. These kids don't know how good they have it.
No,
So,
absolutely
when they think that
we have supercomputers in our pockets.
when they think, they moan and complain because they're only making $15 an hour, but look at the computer stuff. It has come down so far in price that they're actually making more than they think they're making if they're buying computer gear.
Yeah, but only if that. If we're talking about rent, we're screwed.
Well, that's true.
Screwed, blued, and chewed.
Yeah, that's true. Randy says that Roy, I solved that problem. Get 7 PCs or 7 PCs, and use one computer a day, and they last forever.
This is my Monday computer. This is my Tuesday computer.
So you have to understand, Randy is the one that lives in San Antonio or outside. Okay. And
Mailman?
he's got,
Mailman?
He works for the post office.
Okay.
Yes. I don't think he's a mailman, but he works for the post office. But he's got like a bazillion cameras. What do you have, Randy? You have at least 7, right? I'm pretty sure. He doesn't have action cameras. He's got like 7 full size cameras. Okay. And then he's got mini PCs. I don't know that he has
Mini,
7.
like small ones?
No.
Or many?
Like MANY. Many. Yeah. So
I have a bunch of small computers.
No, he has MANY, many computers. And what do you have? 4 or 5 monitors? He's right up there with me.
Okay,
yeah. He's kind of a nerd.
More power to y'all.
Yeah. We're all there.
I've got 3 cars, so yeah.
Right? Okay. Magnetic hard drives wear out with the use, but SSDs each have a limited number of read writes. Oh. We did not know that, did we?
I'm like,
no.
Surely I'm close to the number of read writes in that like 7-year-old build.
Yeah, we didn't know that. So, okay. For some reason, I feel I need to play some Operation. Yeah. I think I saw that on something, and I was just like, really? It may be a computer game now or something. It was like, how can you make that a computer game? Roy says to Randy, I wish I had the room. I'd get older ones out from the garage or the garage, right? Um, yeah, Randy has, I think, don't you have like computers in several rooms? Because I think I've seen you live stream from several different rooms. I know you have one in a spare bedroom, and I think I've seen one in a den. I think. I don't know. I could be losing my mind. That's entirely possible. Randy is talking to Carlos, says, I would lose immediately because of shaky hands, but I can do Twister great though. Right? Yeah, Randy's really tall and skinny.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I bet he would be good at Twister. Aha, a Scion XD. You know what that is?
I do, because I pulled it up.
Okay.
What are your plans with that? Are you restoring it because, like...
So that's his daily driver.
Oh, okay.
And he's put new wheels.
Okay.
He's done something else to it too. Help me out, Lewis. I know you've done something else to it. I just can't remember what it was. It's called old folks syndrome. Yeah, and I have it. So you don't get confused. You can put stars by the ones that you've read.
Yeah, figured out what you've been doing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Although I'm sure whatever this is has a very skewed idea because you're just favoriting everything.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Hey, it
that's
works.
how Peter taught me
It
to
works.
do it.
It gets the job done. It just thinks.
Carlos says it's a car. It is a car. Randall says, place your PCs in different rooms all around the house, and you do not have to put pictures on the wall. Just have a slideshow. Right? I got my daughter one of these photo frames, and you load pictures into it, and it kind of plays them, kind of Harry Potter style. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool looking. Mm-hmm. Roy says Mustang. It's a car. It's a plane. It's super expensive. So I don't really think it's been that bad. So he's looking at doing his exhaust.
I mean, I want to put it. Yeah, it adds up real quick.
Yeah, it will. But if you do one thing at a time, like I think the exhaust he wants is what, $2,600.
Total. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if you do that and then don't do anything until the next month,
that's still real expensive.
Is it?
2,600?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than most people pay for rent and their car payment.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, if you only spent that for that 1 month, and then the next month,
that's more than a lot of people make a month.
Oh, okay. So maybe if you spread it out over 2 months. Okay. I buy cameras. I don't know. Okay. Computers and microphones. I buy a lot of microphones, right? Lewis says, I still have all my old consoles. I'll send pics. So I have seen, I think, on your wall as your background, gaming consoles.
Nice.
And you do have a lot. Yeah. He's got like 9 up there or something.
Nice. Yeah. That's really cool.
So yeah, it is. It is pretty
cool. On a shelf situation.
Make stuff do. Uncle G, this is for you. What's your current favorite game? Oh, this is John on my second channel. Hi, John. Okay. So what's your current favorite game?
I'm assuming we're talking about video games. So the game I'm playing the most right now is Valorant, which is like this 5v5 shooter game. You've got a bomb site, so one team plants, the other team defuses, kind of thing. I play a lot of Forza, which is a driving game, because I can do stuff that's illegal in real life a lot, and that's fun. It scratches the itch to go crazy sometimes. But I'd say my favorite game, like of all time, Legend of Zinc. Zinc.
Legend of Zelda. I even know that one.
Thank you. Legend of Zelda: The Twilight Princess. It came out for the GameCube and the Wii, I think. I played it on the GameCube, but I don't know if it was the time of my life that I played that, or the graphics for the time period, or what. But that game and the story was beautiful. I loved that.
I thought you liked RuneScape a lot too.
I mean, I've played RuneScape probably the longest,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that's my favorite game.
Oh.
It's just the game that I always like. It's like a really nice, easy, like not think hard game that you can just kind of play in the background almost. Yeah.
I never played them, so I don't know.
I still think you need to play we need to get you a playthrough of the Harry Potter game.
So there's a thing I've been told that the young people like to watch the old people play video games. Okay. I think it's so they can laugh at us, honestly. But I'm okay with that if it makes money, right? I'm good with I don't care. That's fine. Randy says Radio Shack bought Tandy. Yes, I remember that. Back in the 80s, I want to say. Maybe. Roy says to Lewis, I only have the last half dozen or so of my computers, but I do have a couple of mini computers too. Right? Okay. Randy says Compaq bought e-machines. I do remember the e-machine. So you could go to Walmart and buy everything in one box.
Yep.
And that was an e-machine, right? And what the difference between that and the Mac Mini is, I really don't know.
Size.
Yeah. So Carlos says, anyone really enjoying seeing Sly and her son interacting? So cool. So
don't forget NJ.
And yeah, you can't really see him.
You can because
too much. Oh yeah.
Text is there.
Oh okay. I don't know if I can get that off the screen. I don't think I can. Okay. So at one point, while we were getting everything set up, and I keep hitting the mic, while we were getting everything set up, Intake came over, and all you could see was his tail, like a metronome. It was pretty cool. And thank you, Carlos.
There he is.
Yeah.
Now he's saying hi.
He's my firstborn, so there's that. Randy or Roy says to Randy, and HP bought Compaq. Okay, so Compaq bought e-machines, and HP bought Compaq.
I think, and HP's still around.
HP's still around, yeah. Craig says Radio Shack sold the TRS-80 with cassette tape player for loading programs and saving data. We all called it the Trash 80 back in the day. Why does that sound familiar? TRS-80. That really is like way back in the memory banks, but I seem to remember that. And Carlos is saying ColecoVision. Coleco.
You're right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It just
not French. Dang it.
It just sounds better than Colco, right? John says it's Coleco. Yeah. Okay. I like the sound of that anyway.
John, I don't know what instrument panel you've got for your profile picture, but that's a really cool shot. I like that.
Oh, John has Teslas.
Well, that's not from a Tesla, I can tell you that much.
Okay. I wanted the Amiga, but they didn't have hard drives. Oh. Okay.
So they relied on external? Like
I
you
don't
had
know.
to have an external hard drive?
I don't know.
Huh.
Or maybe you had to put in a floppy or something.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Grant, floppies were 5 1/4 inches. They were ginormous.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then
I was like, I think I know what a floppy disk is, but they're not that big.
Well, and then they went to the 3 1/2.
Yeah.
And I just thought those were so cool. Right? Yeah, not so cool now. And Lewis says to Roy, it's nostalgia. I have all my consoles on emulators also.
Yep.
What does that mean?
So you could get an emulator. So like if there's any old like Game Boy game or a Nintendo 64 game that you're like, man, I would love to play that, but I don't know if I'll be able to find that console and play it, or
Right.
that console and that game. So there's these emulators you can download, and they're basically like a virtual Nintendo 64 on your computer, and you can play whatever game was available
Oh,
on the Nintendo 64.
well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Jacob loves emulators. He's got like every
So
emulator.
I could get Galaga for my PC?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Okay. I'm dating myself there with Galaga. That was like my favorite game ever. Roy says to Randy, I knew some of the Amiga developers they they had hard drives. Oh, okay. Um, I'm not familiar with the Amiga. I feel like it was probably an 80s thing, but I'm guessing. Total guess. Um, and Roy is talking to Lewis and says, I only still have old cameras and computers because I'm too lazy to get rid of them. I'm right there with you.
Hey,
I don't.
you never know what's going to be a collector's item and what'll be worth tons of money one of these days, you know?
So my old film camera sat in a bag for years, and when I found it, the door had sprung, right? So the door won't shut, and it's a film camera, so it's kind of important, that the door shuts. But um, it's still sitting on my um, credenza thing behind me when I normally do live streams. So, but this is fun. This is fun having a guest appearance by Uncle G, right? Are you not playing games tonight?
No, they got done earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Kevin's on
Uh,
waiting on me, but
Randy's talking to Roy and says, "Admit it, Roy, we're hoarders." No, Randy, we're just old, hun. Okay. As you get older, you accumulate more things like furniture, and then your house doesn't have such an echo to it. You'll get there.
priorities.
Priorities.
I'd rather fix up the Mustang than have a chair that's in the living room that no one sits in
I know,
ever.
right? Roy says to Randy, I prefer the word collectors, right? Okay, I'll go with that. Collectors of useless things that no one else wants. Uh-huh. Um, Thank you, Lewis. Said correctly, Hagibus. Ha! I misspelled it, but I said it right. Okay. Yes. So why did I bring that last time?
Yeah, I just have thought that's
Oh.
one piece the entire time I've seen that.
Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like it goes together, right? It looks good.
It's the same material. Yeah,
It's the same
I
thing.
thought it was one piece.
Okay.
And that's why I was really confused. I was like, that doesn't look like it's flush or even on there. Like, is that safe? What's going on?
No, it's just
Yeah.
kind of yeah. Someone's special toys or others junk, right? Yeah. And Roy says to Randy, I collect cameras these days. Roy has got so many cameras. Like,
I'm reading the
like
next comment. Yeah.
he will be on a live stream and somebody will say something about a camera and he's got like these shelves behind him and he's very quiet. Roy is. He's really funny, but he's very quiet, right? And
Hmm.
he doesn't very often speak up. And he'll just arbitrarily reach behind him and get one of these. And yeah, I've got that. It's like, yeah, you're amazing, Roy. Love you to pieces. Roy says, I wish I only had 7 cameras. It would be less embarrassing. No, we love your collection. I love it when you do that. You just kind of reach behind you, and if it's a lens or whatever, he has it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So he makes me look like I'm just starting out, right? My kids think I've overdone it, you know. So it's all a matter of perspective, Roy, right? Because Roy has got easily 100 times what I have, and yeah, and my kids think I have too much. So yeah, go figure. Randy says, I love Lara Croft and Tomb Raider adventures. Okay. Great using the RTX 3080 and the Ryzen 3900X on a 55 QOLED Samsung 95, uh, 95 something TV 220 hertz. You know what that means? I know
Uh-huh.
the Ryzen 3900.
The RTX 3080 Ti is a really nice graphics card. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure the Ryzen 3900 is as well.
The 3900 is, mine is a 3700X.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 3900 is the newer version.
And then
And the 55 QOLED
that's
TV.
he's got like a gaming PC setup, but instead of like playing on a desk like I do, I bet he's got it set up, where he can play on the couch with controller.
Yeah.
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 But
Randy's kind of big into tech too.
that's legit.
Yeah.
I can imagine that just looks incredibly beautiful.
Well, now the Samsung, is the Samsung the one that's in your bedroom or in the spare bedroom? I don't know.
120 hertz,
He's
that's
got,
like a little bit low for a gaming PC monitor. So I bet that's a really nice TV.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but he's got a bunch of them. he's, yeah, he's got them in several different rooms, and he's got each room is fully set up. So, yeah. Roy's asking Randy, is it OLED or QLED?
See, I've heard of OLED. I think I've heard of QLED, but I don't know if I've heard of QOLED.
I've heard of OLED.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Lewis says coilover suspension, wheels and tires so far. Okay.
Okay, so Lewis, please help explain to my mother, who is very smart and wise, don't get me wrong, that coilovers don't mean you're going to drag and hit every bump on the ground. That coilovers just make for a wonderful, smooth ride, and they might lower it a little bit, right?
So I'm not wanting him to lower the Mustang.
I want coilovers so bad.
Any further because I can get in it okay. I just have a hard time getting out. And if it's any lower to the ground, Fred Flintstone it. What's the point?
Plus, no. My buddy's got an 80s Corvette.
Yeah.
And I was driving the Mustang all the time at the time.
Right.
Like now going from like the 4Runner or your truck into the Mustang, I'm like, wow, I'm sitting on the ground.
Right.
But I was driving the Mustang all the time, and I got into his Corvette, and I'm like, I think my butt's on the ground, dude. And he's like, no, you're sitting in the seat. It was so low.
And the seat is on the ground.
But
yeah.
I want coilover so bad because stock, the Mustang has a massive gap that looks like it's referred to as the Grand Canyon as far as like being a carnivorous trench. And coilovers make it a lot cooler looking with less space.
Well, apparently you're right because Lewis put coilovers on his
side. Because he knows what he's doing. So he wants a smooth ride.
Smooth ride. Randy says Samsung renamed their
LED to the Quantum OLED. Oh, okay. So that's just the Samsung version.
OLED. Okay.
Cool.
And Lewis says, I have a crazy vision for the XD. Plenty to come.
Well, if you're already running coilover suspension, are you making a track build?
No, he's not. This is his everyday driver. So
if you have crazy vision for it, that's more than a daily drive. I want to know.
So you know how I've preached my whole life to you that when things happen really easily, that's the path you're supposed to be taking?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he lucked into this deal where these, was it the wheels maybe, were like $500 and something, and Amazon had made a typo and they were 53, right? Yeah. Yeah. So everything that he has bought for this thing
nice
has pretty much just fallen into his lap. And I was telling him on the phone the other day that I really, when things go that easily, that's the path that you're supposed to be taking, because he started a new channel with it. Yeah. Right. And I think he's just going to go like crazy. Like, those guys I watch, that have the Tacoma and the
the brothers.
The brothers. And Chloe, the little girl that does the taco. So I think his car channel is just going to like explode, because when things fall into your lap like that, it's a God thing and you're on the right path.
100%.
So yeah. Carlos says, do you have a favorite cocktail to make, Grant? I'm a bit of a mixologist.
Okay. So my favorite drink is probably an amaretto sour with egg whites. I love that. It's not strong, but good Lord, does it taste good. Um, I really enjoyed making like a really good dirty martini. I hate it. I do not like the taste of it at all. But whenever like a martini person comes in and they're like, I'm particular about my martini. And then you're like, okay, do you want it dirty? Do you want it like, and you start asking all the correct questions and they're like, their eyes start opening up. And then you hand them the martini and they take a sip and they're like, this is exactly what I wanted. You're like, no, I'm good. So I really like doing that. Um, Classic margaritas, amazing. Um, it's trashy, but I love to make a like a legitimate Long Island iced tea. So for those that don't know, it's got rum, gin, vodka, triple sec, and then depending on where you're at, if you're at like a true dive bar and you're just trashy, it's just triple or sweet and sour and a splash of Coke. But I worked at a diner, but we made craft cocktails, and so I did it with like I actually made my sweet and sour with like lemon juice and simple syrup and a splash of Coke, and it was like for as trashy a drink as the LIT is, it was really really good. So yeah, I've got quite a few that I really like to make. What about you? What's your favorite cocktail to make up,
It's Carlos.
Carlos?
Yeah. Lewis says Forza.
Yeah,
What does it mean?
that's the game I was talking about, the racing game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really want to get a steering wheel, like a racing sim. They're called a sim wheel.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that because I can get like you can get like a
I've
full
seen those.
three
You set
pedal
them on the
setup.
desk
Yeah.
and drive. Yeah,
Oh,
I've seen
yeah, I want
those.
one so bad. Right now I'm just playing with my PS4 controller, so it works. But yeah,
That's cool. Randy says, I was too far from the computer. I meant QOLED to quantum dot OLED. Sorry about that. You might as well be speaking Greek, Randy. I meant, okay, QOLED to quantum dot OLED. Yeah, okay. You've got us both stumped. Okay, we're on I don't know what we're on. We're not on anything LED. Are they LED, these monitors? I don't know.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. Carlos says, Trek to Yomi is the best game I've ever played. Oh, okay. I have never even heard of that one.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now because I'd never heard of it.
Oh. And Roy says, and Tandy made the least compatible PC. Yeah, I remember like Radio Shack back in the day was kind of like, not even a little bit, but like how specific Apple is. It can only use Apple stuff. Well, Radio Shack back in the day was proprietary and they would only use Radio Shack stuff. So I do remember that being a negative back in the day. Now, why everybody has bought into Apple, I don't know, other than they make pretty good products. But I think anytime I like things that are not proprietary that you can put aftermarket stuff on. So I don't know. Randy says to Peter, R50 doing 4K 30 using Ecamm Live for 2 hours and doing great. No overheating, 80 degrees in the house. Okay. I don't, I don't think
80 degrees in the house?
Well, he's in San Antonio.
That's even worse.
So
it's the temperature of the sun out there.
I don't think my cameras have ever overheated.
I don't think he's talking about his computer's overheating. He's probably talking about
his camera. He's talking about his R50. R50. I don't think he meant R50.
I have no idea.
I think he has an R10.
You're the one with camera knowledge, not me.
Yeah, I know he has an R10, maybe an R7.
Does he have an
And then he has
R7? Because that's a really cool car.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Then he has a bunch of Nikon cameras. But one of his R cameras is doing 4K 30 using Ecamm Live for 2 hours and doing great. So maybe he's live streaming.
Yeah.
I don't know. Roy is talking to Randy, says, I like QLED, but OLED seems to degrade with age. Okay, I don't have either, so I couldn't tell you about that. I have 2 television sets that haven't been on in many years. One has been on when I shut the door, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
One has been on, so when my grandson came down, he wanted to watch dinosaur movies. So that one has been on, but just for that. So I don't really watch too much TV. John says the profile pic is from a Willis CJ old Jeep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Willie CJ? Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. I think your dad had a CJ Jeep at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we went to Colorado and it beat me to death.
Yeah.
Peter says, that's neat, Randy. The ZFC is still on from last night. No troubles at all.
So is that a camera?
Yes,
Sorry.
it's a Nikon. Yes. What?
I just want to see if it was producing any heat at all.
Oh, well, hit the button while you're at it. So the screen turns off after 30 minutes. I mean, it's not recording or anything. So, but it's not hot at all, is it? No, I didn't think so. Well, apparently Canon came out with some cameras that they really didn't get hot. Like you couldn't feel that they were hot, but it would say it was overheating, like really quickly.
Mm.
And I think Canon did that on purpose, personally. But it's another story. Roy said, "Love the operating system on the Amiga." Okay, that's pretty cool. Randy's talking to Roy. Says sale on the LG C2 $1,000 off. So if it's $1,000 off, it's probably $5,000 to start with.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right? Carlos says, everyone take note. This is what a well-adjusted mother-son relationship looks like. Are we well-adjusted?
I'd say so.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I
no.
Yeah, we are. I would say we don't really have the mother-son thing going on so much as we do friends.
Yeah, now we're friends.
Yeah.
So,
So
can I tell the story?
of what?
Like the talk, and then looking back at it.
In the Mustang?
No.
Oh.
No. In the truck. I know which one you're.
Oh.
In the truck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was we probably have way different perspectives of that talk.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
But it is a group of guys, so you're probably all right.
Well, I remember God, I must have been 10, 11, 12.
9, 10.
9?
3rd grade. So 9 or 10.
Oh, I thought it was later than that. So 3rd grade, 9 years old.
If it's the talk I'm thinking of.
So my mom is like, puberty's coming up. You're going to be going through some changes.
That's not the talk I was thinking of.
And there's going to be a period where you grow up and you're going to think I'm the dumbest person on the planet.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, my mom was my number one absolute best friend in the whole world. She could do no wrong. She was the smartest person. She had all the answers. And I broke down crying. And I remember I was like, there's no way I can hate you. You're my best friend. I could never hate you. And then I remember being 16 years old. And I had a car and I had a job so I could pay for gas and food so I could live my own life because I'm 16 and that's what you do. And I remember her not wanting me to leave the house. And I remember wanting to punch her so bad because she was so dumb. What do you mean I can't leave? I have a car. I pay for my own gas. What do you mean I can't leave? Pfft, you're dumb. And then I remember she's like, you're gonna think I'm really dumb for a while, and then you're gonna grow out of it, and you're gonna come back around to realizing that I'm smart again, and you're not gonna hate me anymore. And now that I'm almost 30, I can look back and distinctly, there was a period where she was really, really dumb, and I hated her and everything she did. And then 24, 25, it was just she might have been right about a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'd say we have a pretty good relationship.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't really parent him anymore. One of my daughter was looking for a treadmill. This will give you an example of my the fact that I don't really parent my children anymore. And she gave, and I told her, I shop a lot on Facebook Marketplace, right? And so I said, "What's your budget? What are you looking for? And I'll keep my eyes out, right?" So she gave me a budget of $600, and so I'm looking, and she calls and says, "Well, hey, I bought a treadmill," and I'm like, "Cool," and she says, "Yeah, it was $1,400," and I'm like, I I I thought our budget was 600. And I mean, she lit into me and she's, "It's my money and I can spend it how I want to." And I'm like, "Absolutely. It's your money and you can spend it however you want to. That was the figure you had given me when I was looking." So, long story short, the reason she spent $1,400 was to have it delivered, set up, because she's my size and by herself. And so she did not want to have to try to set this thing up. This thing is ginormous, right? So my kids make their own money. I don't care. As long as they're not asking me to pay the rent, I don't care what they spend their money on, right? Um, so the mom side, I've done my job. Both my kids are somewhat functioning citizens.
I pay
They pay
taxes.
taxes, right? Like that. So now I can be their friend because um, I've done the mom thing. Okay. So now I can be a granny to my grandson.
And spoil the
And
shit out of them.
you guys were a little bit spoiled yourself there, Mr.
Oh
Six
yeah, I
console
agree,
person.
but
Yes. So Roy is talking to Randy and says, "I have an LG OLED in front of me, 4 years old and losing contrast." So, to tell you how much of a dinosaur I am, and why I bought a plasma TV, which nobody has plasmas anymore because of the contrast, right? Plasma has a better contrast. At the time, they were coming out with the LCDs, I think.
uh-huh.
Um, and
That's what that TV is, and it's starting to go.
well, that TV was yours in,
Oh
I
yeah,
think, high
it
school.
was.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but the plasma, the picture on it is it's 60 inches, I think, and it's absolutely amazing. And when I got this thing, I was ready to take it back because it was too big. And my daughter tore the box up, so I couldn't take it back. Right? She was so tired of me looking at TVs and going back and forth on what I should get. And it's that TV is now probably 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, because you got it at the old
I haven't turned it
place.
on in quite a while, but the last time I did, it still has an amazing picture, especially if you like to watch movies like that have a lot of dark in them, like Batman and stuff. The Harry Potter movies have a lot of dark. It has an amazing contrast to it. So one of these days it will fail and I'll be sad. But not that I watch it that much anyway. Um, Roy's saying to Randy, "Thanks anyway. I need a new monitor."
Roy, I love that you end your your comments with a kangaroo.
Kangaroo,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Well, that's to let you know he's from Australia.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Randy says, "I have the LG B1755 and the B1855 and the C1865 and love them, but the S95B blows them out of the water, and I love the Samsung TV Plus stations." So, when you don't have internet, those smart TVs become dumb. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. I don't have internet right now. Just throwing that out there. Roy says you can't have too many cameras. Amen, brother. I wholeheartedly agree. Did you hear that?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. It's black and white right there. You can't have too many cameras.
Oh, I must have misread that. I lost
You
some letters in the
can't
translation. You
have
can't have too many cars, is what I see.
cameras. You can't
Too
have
many cars.
too many cameras. So How many cameras do you have, Grant?
Cameras?
Yeah.
Including my phone, 3.
What's your second one?
I have a really shitty webcam.
Oh, that's one I gave you.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not really shitty. I mean,
It is. It's pretty bad. Yeah. It's kind of like, yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. I should probably get you a better one. Do you use a webcam that
no.
much? Okay. Oh, I won't get you a better one then.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, I want to do an online D&D group.
actually, you can use your camera. I got him a camera for his birthday. Which I should throw one of those moon shots on there.
I had the app downloaded.
Huh?
Oh, wait, I do.
Oh, I have them.
Oh, you do?
I do. I got to show you guys a picture real quick if I can find it. Okay, I'm going to try to find it real quick. Um, maybe I don't have it. I don't have it.
Psych.
Okay, it was it's on his camera, but I didn't download all the everything on the camera. I just did the Mustang stuff. But he has taken some ridiculously amazing shots of the moon with an SX740HS.
It's because it's got like a 1 million zoom on it.
It does have a ridiculous amount of zoom, but these shots of the moon are absolutely incredible. Like, I couldn't believe he took it with a point and shoot camera, right? And yeah, I should have downloaded the whole thing, but they're still on the camera. But you can use that camera as a webcam, is what I was getting
That's
at.
cool. Okay.
That's the rabbit trail I went down. Squirrel. Peter says, Carlos, she's 100% lets him be himself without interfering in everything he does. Grant is a really awesome person, especially when he's sleeping. Boy,
What does that
he
mean?
is just attacking us. What is up with that, Peter? That's twice, dude. Dylan, what's up, buddy? There's Dylan. That's a Mustang guy. Dylan has a Mustang as well, and it sounds really good. Got some H pipes on it. Sounds good. Randy says Samsung S95B is shared by that PC and the Mac Studio. Okay, so you've got 2 computers running into it. That's cool. Randy says, "Well, if you get a truck, you climb up and then fall out." Yes, yes, and I like that. That is so much easier than falling in and having to climb up, right? And there's Nikki. How you doing, Nikki? Nikki is Dylan's girlfriend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Guys, Dylan, you've met Grant, but Nikki, this is my son Grant, and so I'm having to kind of explain who everybody is. He's hosting tonight because my internet is kapooey. So he's not gaming tonight, so he thought he'd join in, and we're talking about cars and cameras and everything in between. Let's see if he can be nice. When I buy a pet Tesla, the first thing I will change is to put Olin coilovers. The ride height can still stay totally stock, but the harshness has to be banished. Coilovers, baby. Okay, that was nice.
Tesla.
Well, Tesla is big on the East Coast and the West Coast, but I think John lives in Minnesota or Wisconsin, or John lives up north somewhere.
Okay.
Oklahoma, not really into the whole electric vehicle thing yet. It'll come. Give us about 3 years. We're usually 3 years behind the rest of the world. It'll come. Lewis says coilover is the proper way to lower your suspension compared to cutting springs or other mods. But coilovers give you full adjustability. Some take it too far.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that one.
Yeah. Well, could we not put it on the ground?
I won't when you're riding with me. But the cool thing about coilovers is like because some of them are not adjustable, but some of them, the ones that you like, you can pop up the trunk or the hood
Yeah.
and get to them from the top. And so like you can like roll up to the car meet and whatever is comfortable to ride in, and then drop it so it like lowers real cool. So like it looks cooler when you're people are walking around trying to take photos and stuff.
Okay, if you say so.
Thank you.
Where was I?
There it is.
Okay, Roy's saying coffee, coffee, coffee. Yeah, I think we've been going almost 2 hours, guys. That wasn't.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. Lou says I was lucky to meet Rich from Rich Rebuilds YouTube a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that was cool. So, this guy Rich Rebuilds
Mhm.
on YouTube has a shop, and he's from up north.
Okay.
And he's building a shop where Lewis goes to these conferences called the last two were called, I think, people of YouTube, or I don't know. I can't remember what the name of it was called. But anyway, this year Ecamm is sponsoring a conference.
Oh, that's cool.
And so where he goes is where this guy Rich's Rebuild is building his new shop.
Oh,
It's
nice.
this little bitty town in Massachusetts, I think. And so they're going to meet up this fall, So it's
Nice.
funny how somebody from up north and somebody from Florida can meet, and then, oh, the moonshot. How did you do that? That was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that. He did. This guy is so techie, okay? And I'm just like, how did you do that? Right? I'm just constantly in awe. Okay, so can we do it to here?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, no, I would do it to a different one that we're not on right now.
Okay. Well, no, that's not. Is that where we are? I thought that was where we are.
I think that we're technically on this one right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just do this. Okay, and we'll put moon. I'm learning, guys. Not good at it yet, but I'm learning. Okay, so it came in this. Oh, here.
Oh, yeah, do that.
This?
Yep.
Okay.
And then click recent. See if it's on there.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Downloads.
Downloads? Okay.
Nope. You gotta download it. Okay.
Okay. How do I get out of here?
Cancel.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm learning. Go to here. Go to here. Go to here. Okay.
Yep.
Now go to. Okay. Is it that one?
No.
Nope. That one?
Nope.
It's not on there yet.
I cancel. Or.
Okay. We're trying to figure out how to show you that one of those moonshots.
Go back to here.
Okay. Is it here?
Maybe? No.
No.
What?
Okay. So normally, when I go to here, and I go to here,
Click that.
this one?
Yeah. I'll just do it from there.
Save to your iCloud.
Cancel.
Okay.
That's where it's at then. Okay. So click on this again.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to pictures. On that.
Well, it won't let me.
Well, give it a second. It's trying to load.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
No.
It just straight up won't let you?
No. Maybe because I'm live?
Yeah, I bet that's what it is. Because, yeah, it skipped the downloads. It went straight into your pictures.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe I can bring that to you next week. I don't know how to do it.
I wonder, can I do this?
Yeah. He's going to drive for a minute. Oh, there it is.
Yep. Ahaha! The moon!
Okay. Okay, so, and why do I have two of them?
I don't know.
Okay.
I might have double clicked it because that's what you do.
Okay. Well, so let's put it on this side. Okay. So this was taken with this little bitty. Yeah.
Could have just held it.
Yeah, you could have just held it.
The power shot.
So yeah. So this was taken with this little bitty point and shoot camera, believe it or not. But it is kind of ridiculous. Okay, that's like, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Now hit.
It's so long.
So it's got like a 40 times zoom on it or something.
It's like 40 regular and 40 digital. So it's like 80 total.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's insane.
Okay. Make it go back to sleep.
That's you turn it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just an amazing shot of the moon. And he's taken quite a few of them. Some of them are more centered, but that just needs a little cropping and it'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Rob, how you doing, bud?
Speaking of a martini.
Right? What's up, fam? I came in late, and this is a great OLED stumped conversation. Radio Shack, baby. Realistic brand and free battery cards. Oh, Rob, I didn't think you were that old, bud. I didn't think you knew about those free battery cards. Lewis says, my build is a resto mod. Crazy.
Livery design with a particular engine swap in mind.
Ah, okay.
Is GR the engine you want to swap in? Or... Huh.
I don't know.
Curious about what engine is going to go in there.
I know, right? You'll have to watch this channel and find out.
Turbo Swap K series.
Lewis, what's the name of your car channel? Because I have not been able to find it.
Yeah, drop that link.
Yeah, I need to know what that is. Randy says Canon has made a new APS-C camera. It's called an R50. I didn't know about that.
And added to the wish list.
Why didn't I know about that one? So Canon came out with their EOS line, right? And basically all their crop cameras are EFS's lenses, EF and EFS lenses. Okay. Well, then they came out with a mirrorless line called the M series. Okay. So you had your M50, your M200, whatever. There's a bunch of them. Sorry about that. There's a bunch of them. These are M6s. Okay. So it takes an M lens. Okay. Unless you use an adapter. Well, then they decided to kill the M line and they came out with the R line, or the R series. And so now all of their new cameras are R cameras. So there's like the R7, the R10, the R6, there's like the R, what is it? 3, 5, 6, 7, 10. So, but the R lenses won't fit anything else. Okay. And the M lenses won't fit anything else.
Love that.
Now the EF lenses will fit the M with an adapter. And I think there is an R adapter for the ES lenses. Okay. But they kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot. The M series was a pretty popular camera. A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers started with the M50. And then now there's an M50 Mark II, and so there's just a lot of them. But now they're, so is the R50 supposed to take the place of the M50? That would be my guess. Peter says the R50 Canon camera would be kind of like the M50 Canon camera, and yes, that house is hot. Right? Speaking of the guy that lives in Miami.
Yeah.
He knows what hot is, right? Rob says, I think we all need to pitch in and get you an OLED. So Rob, it would hang on the wall. What I need to do, I need to leave my TVs on all the time and just have them on a loop playing pictures. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Yeah.
Have like life size, because the 60-inch people really are life size. Like, I'd have something on the TV and Grant would walk in and the person on the TV is the same size as Grant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Carlos says, I love sours, Grant. Love the one you described. My favorite right now is Monte Lobos smoked tea sour. Did I say that right?
I think so.
Monte Lobos.
Can't say I've heard of that, but oh wait, here we go.
Always with egg whites.
Click the next part.
You don't put the whole egg in, do you?
No, just the egg white.
Okay, 1 egg white, 2 parts
Mezcal, lemon juice. Interesting. Okay.
Saying Sochon tea infused simple syrup.
Huh.
So his wife, it knows all about tea.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Sochong tea. Is that something like? Is that Eastern?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you know what the rest of that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mezcal is like a really smoky tequila.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
Okay. Yeah, I don't drink, Carlos, not because I'm against it, but I just don't like the taste. So, if I do, it would be like a rum and
Dr. Pepper, right?
vanilla Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, but I read something just recently where rum is supposed to be really good for you. So maybe I should drink more rum. I don't really know.
My only counter argument is that there's not really any pirates left, and if rum was really good for you, there'd have to be pirates left.
I can be a pirate. Roy says to Randy, I like the M50. Yeah, the M50, M50 Mark II, they were really good cameras. Apparently, there was an original M, which is being brought back to life by a lot of young YouTubers with that Magic Lantern software. So, and then there was an M100 and an M200. I thought about getting the M200 just as a stationary in the studio camera so I could take one of my M6s with me. And right now, not tonight, but right now I'm using the 80D, but you have to do it on manual. So it's really hard when you're by yourself to focus. If you're behind the camera and you're trying to focus at something over here, that's kind of hard, So if I had like, I don't know, a life-size doll or something, I could sit in the chair and focus on that. It'd be different. Yeah, right? I could do that. You do that really well. Uh, Roy said, you should make all decisions when you're young while you still know everything. Right?
Definitely.
And just write them down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be too funny. Lewis is waving at Rob. Rob, we're glad you're here, bud. Roy says, you mean there are people that don't have internet? No. So I raised my kids on top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere for 8 years, and we could not get internet, right? You had to go outside to get phone service. Like, you didn't have to climb the pole, but pretty close to it, because it was a metal building, and so you couldn't get phone service inside the house, so you had to go outside to, yeah. But once you have the internet, your life revolves around it and everything you do. So your shopping is curtailed, your live streaming, obviously you can't live stream without it. So it makes these computers worthless if you don't have internet, right? You can talk to yourself, I guess. Yeah. So Lewis is laughing. Yeah, he's laughing at me. He always laughs at me. It's okay. I'm used to it. Roy said a camera for his birthday, maybe a lens to go with it for Christmas. No,
I don't think
so.
This can have a lens.
So when
I
he
love it.
asked for a camera, he gave me the criteria of what he wanted. Okay, he drives for a living all over the state of Oklahoma, and he drives, like, a lot of times he's off the beaten path. He's off the main highways. And so he'll see like an old falling down derelict barn, and he wants to be able to take a picture of it, right? So he needed something with a good zoom. He didn't want to have to change the lens. He didn't want to put a microphone on it. He just wanted to be able to take pictures. Okay. Now, this will also do video, and he's done some pretty good video with it, but he's not into all the gadgetry that I am. Um, and if he were to want to go that route, he happens to know someone that can kind of help him down that path. I probably would start him with the R cameras. Just, I'm kind of a Canon fangirl. So either that, or I would start him in the Sony ecosystem. If he ever wanted to go where change lenses and add microphones and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I the Canon ecosystem is just easier for me because the menus are all the same in pretty much all the cameras. And so it's very easy for me to navigate. But I think with him starting out, I probably would maybe start him in the Sony ecosystem. Sony makes a really good camera. So I'm just saying. That's a great series of bridge cameras. The moon. The moon.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's pretty happy with his moon. I don't know. Was that the first moonshot you took, or?
No, that was one of the later ones.
Yeah, he has like a bunch of moonshots. The closest car I had to a Mustang was a Ford XB Falcon, Max type without the pregnant engine.
I don't know what pregnant engine means, but those Ford Falcons, like, they didn't make a ton of them, but those are cool looking cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John says, I'm in Wisconsin, but we have a cabin in northern Minnesota near Canada. Okay. I knew you were like up north where it's really cold and yeah. But that's kind of the middle of the country, and they have Teslas. So I don't know. Do they make coilovers for air suspensions?
I don't think so. I think normally a suspension is either like coilover or bagged, and bagged means it's on an air suspension.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. I'm not the most versed with that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, I don't have any idea. So I was telling you, but Lewis is going to meet up with it's the Ecamm Creator Camp in Amesbury, Massachusetts.
Cool.
So I got Massachusetts right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was Ecamm something. And I did get Massachusetts right, so yay me. Roy says Elon Musk's moonshot was better. It came with fireworks.
Yeah, he was also able to launch a car with his moonshot. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, well, we'll get there.
You're upside down.
The moon is upside down.
It's because you're on the wrong side of the world. It's upside down.
Is it really? I don't think so.
The world is also flat. So Australia's on the bottom part of it. We're up here. So yes, to him, of course, it looks upside down.
Nice. Did you use a tripod? No.
No, I squatted down and I used the back of a chair to hold it steady.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did, being the overachiever that I am, I did get him a case, an extra battery, and I ordered him a Gorilla Pod. Okay, would you like to go get your Gorilla Pod?
Is that the grabby thingy?
Mm-hmm. So you guys all know what a Gorilla Pod is, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I ordered one because I know what they look like. I've never had one, but he said he wanted something that would wrap around stuff. So I ordered him one, and this is now my daughter's going to laugh her head off. This is what I got.
I'm Wolverine.
Okay, this is what I got. This little baby.
Was that not what it was supposed to be?
No. This is the baby. It's supposed to be like way bigger. Like I don't know what, 10 times bigger than this? Yeah, this is like the little baby gorilla thing. So, but there again, I didn't really read the description. It just said Gorilla Pod and Joby Gorilla Pod. Yeah, so I bought one and I get it in, and it's too close now to his birthday to get another one. So, but he seems to like this. Don't you like this?
Yeah.
Yes, he seems to like that just fine. So
Sorry,
maybe
I'm looking up Project Car Junkie.
maybe is that is
I'm
you're reading
skipping. I
ahead.
do. Yeah, I'm really.
So maybe the bigger one would have been too big and he wouldn't have liked it because he seems to like this one. So it all worked out. But, uh, Lewis is laughing at Roy. Okay, Project Car Junkie Car Channel. Thank you. And you already found it.
I subscribed.
And he subscribed. So he will show me and I will subscribe and, the whole thing. Yeah. Lewis has a great camera presence.
I mean, just the thumbnails on his photo on those movie or
Uh-huh.
the thumbnail on the videos for that channel. I mean, they looked really professional and really well done. So
Yeah,
yeah, he seems to know what he's doing.
he is really good. At Mr. Camera Junkie at or tripod and tracker. Okay, I'd have to go back up. The moon is upside down, or tripod and a tracker.
No, no tracker. Well, I don't know what a tracker is. I'm assuming it's what you track a moving thing with, right?
Sure. No, it was just handheld. Rob is talking to Mr. Camera Junkie. What's up, buddy? Hope you and your son are doing great. He has started a car channel, Rob. You need to check it out. It's Project Car Junkie. Okay. And yeah, we all need to get behind Lewis and support him because I think it's gonna rock and roll, Lewis. I really do. It's a point and shoot. I doubt a tracker was used. Yeah, nope. No, just that little camera, and he balanced himself on the back of a chair. I keep hitting this microphone. The microphone is supposed to be
really weird.
up. Well, I'm trying to get you.
You don't think you could get me from up here though?
Well, no, it was way too echoey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to downplay the echo here.
Maybe move the mouse like here so you're not having to reach through it every time.
Okay.
And then just up the DPI.
I don't know what that is. Just leave it.
Okay.
Just Roy said, Mr. Camera Junkie, me too, but that's what I would use. Well, that's all he has, Roy. He has a phone, which he won't put in a case, and
hell no,
and that camera. So yeah. Roy says shooting the moon is more a technical exercise than taking photographs. He loved it. He couldn't wait to tell me how good they came out.
I was just so
I was impressed.
Yeah, a little bitty camera can zoom in that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a Nikon Z8 on order for a webcam. Do you? Okay. You're one of the Z8 pre-orders. That's pretty cool. So since I'm a Canon girl, what do you guys think of the V10? I got to tell you, I was a little underwhelmed. Roy says, my kids grew up with internet, although it was text-only dial-up back then. Right?
That was a startup noise whenever you connect to the internet.
Yes, it was. So his older brother, I don't think we even had internet. If we did, it was like AOL or something. But we used to play a game where no pictures. It was a video game, and it was all typed. And it was like one of them was like the Count of Monte Cristo, and it would give you a scenario, and you had to type right, left, up or down, as far as to which direction. And then when you went that way, it would give you another scenario, and you had to solve a mystery. So, yeah, no pictures. It's kind of fun. Gadgets. They are camera toys. Yes, I love gadgets. Right. Carlos says, I restored a 62 microbus, 23 window, but a friend of mine built an insane 62 VW microbus with a mid engine blown 355 small block, 310 louvers, and a crazy 7-inch chop. Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was nutty.
Jeez. So when you restored it, did you make it into a camper? Because a lot of those VW buses were made into campers. I think they were starting campers. Roy said, "Had you going?" Yes, you did. You did. That's not hard to do, Roy. Okay, it's pretty easy. Lewis says, Roy just saw that question. Yes, you can put air suspension with coilovers. Okay.
See, I didn't know.
Yeah. Roy says, a pod that only a gorilla can use. Yeah, well, look, this thing looks pretty dinky in his hand. Okay. Yeah. It was supposed to be a full size, or I thought I was buying a full size gorilla pod. Please tell me your door's open. Okay. Thought maybe we were being invaded by a ghosty. His curtain is moving in front of the door, and I'm like, no, it's fine. It can stay open. I just want to make sure there wasn't anybody eavesdropping, as it was. That's no gorilla pod. It's a monkey pod. For a very wee monkey. Yes. A tracker turns with the sky, making it nice and sharp over many seconds. Oh, okay. There you go. A tracker turns with the sky, or maybe as the Earth's turning.
Yeah.
Making it nice and sharp.
So is that what the people who go set up like overnight shots for the moon and the sky and stars and stuff like that? Do they use that? Is that what they use?
Just time lapse photography.
Oh, is it?
I
Okay.
think. I don't get me started. Lewis is thanking you for the sub. How many did he have?
He had 23. Now he's at 25.
He'll be at a lot more before tonight's over. I do love my camera toys. Yes. Yes. I kind of got into a mic thing for a minute. Yeah.
Another mic?
Yeah, well, but I really like this little $36 one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, normally I don't sit back that far, but I don't normally have a guest either. So, but I think for $36, I think this thing sounds pretty good. Carlos says that mic is really great, picking you both up really well. Good, good. Well, his voice is a little more boomy, so yeah, that's why I'm probably sitting closer to it because he's sitting quite a ways away from it. So the internet was turned on in October 1969, but was only military, the university back then. So yeah, I think we didn't get internet until I want to say I had a computer in 1986, but we didn't have internet. And so I was thinking it was like 1990 when we bought our first house. We got internet, and it was AOL back then. Liz says, do you still have the microbus, Carlos? Roy says, a peeping gorilla. It's like a peeping chimpanzee. Roy says, astrophotographers use trackers. Okay.
Okay. So I was right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I know what I'm talking about. Sake.
Well, guys, we are like into 2.5 hours, and I do not want to give Chuck a run for his money. So we are going to see the Renaissance Festival. This guy is going to wear a kilt. I think it's on my channel. There's where we went to the Renaissance with just me and him, and he wore a kilt. So if you want to see how sexy his legs are, he's got nice legs. We can just find him a wife. We'll be doing good. Not one woman in this whole thing except me. So this is not where we're going to find him a wife.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So we'll try putting a skirt on him and taking him to the Renaissance.
Man, when you put it like that, it sounds like a recipe for success. I tell you what.
So my daughter's going with us. She's dressing up, and this should be a good day. It's going to be kind of overcast, which actually overcast days make it a little easier to film. So that was her first question: is how many cameras are you bringing? Just one, maybe two.
I still wish we could have gotten little man the 360 cam for that trip. That would have been so fun.
Yeah, we went to see a cave, and my plan was to have the 3-year-old hold the 360 camera, right? Because can you just imagine? I mean, yeah, he wouldn't do it. So he started wanting to, and that lasted about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And so tall guy here ended up carrying it. So yeah, I still haven't edited all of that video yet. The Mustang though video I think is ready for a voiceover.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be posting some things. The Mustang stuff is going up on Adventures with Uncle G. The travel stuff will probably go up on mine. So, but guys, look, they don't want me to leave. Randall says AOL, CompuServe, and Genie, the old days, right? I do remember CompuServe. It was a computer store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And AOL was who you got your internet through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
AOL.
Okay. Roy says,
You've got mail.
I didn't get the internet till the mid 80s, but the World Wide Web came out in mid 90s. Okay. So, yeah, I remember we bought our house in 1990 and we had a computer and AOL in that house. So, Mr. Camera Junkie says, thanks for the great stream. Nice to meet you, Grant. Thanks at Slyreader. Bye, everyone. Have a good night, Lewis.
Yeah, you guys have a great night. Thanks for stopping in.
We will see everybody tomorrow night on Mr. Camera Junkie's live stream. Okay, 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. 7 o'clock Pacific Time. Okay, everybody check out his channel because he has he makes this look really professional. So check that out. Yeah. Roy's saying gorilla legs. I think Roy is finding all things gorilla here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, monkey. Roy says 360 cams are fun but hard to post on the internet. So apparently you have to set your direction before you upload it. So you can't like change midstream.
Oh, I was just spinning it the whole time. I'm just
Randy says, wonderful streams. It seems everything is under control with that tree. Love the interaction. Yes. That's why I say, thank goodness this week is over. Next week has got to be calmer.
Yeah.
Right? They're sending me a new router modem combination thing. So the internet will be fixed. The tree is fixed. So life should get back to some kind of normalcy. Hopefully.
Yes.
So have a good night, everybody. Love you guys. And I will see you next week.
See you guys. Thanks for stopping in.
Bye.
Are we not needed to pee or drink any liquid at all?